Have you ever seen Homer when he was young? He used to be a total workaholic, the face of the nuclear plant. But now, he's just a lazy slob stuck at the bottom of the ranks. It really got to him. Even the professor felt his pain. While they were opening up to each other, Homer suddenly got a job offer from a new power plant. Immediately, he started panicking, convinced he'd blow it. To his surprise, the professor said he'd help. Homer swore he'd nail the job and finally give Marge the life she deserved. But when Homer and the professor started working together, Lisa got suspicious. Homer kicked her out and jumped into the interview early, which ended up bumping another candidate. Homer clearly couldn't handle the questions, but the professor fed him perfect answers and he landed the job. The other candidate was furious. Take it. As the professor was about to leave, Homer begged him to stay and keep helping. The professor gave in. Meanwhile, Smithers had already accepted that Homer would quit every time he got a new gig. The professor gave Homer a secret earpiece. The new power plant was amazing, and his new boss loved him. But his assistant? It was the very person he beat out for the job, and she clearly hated him. Homer was now relying on the professor for literally everything, even answering questions at home. But at least he brought Marge some reindeer meatballs for Maggie. The assistant started getting suspicious and invited Carl and the guys out for drinks. Together, they uncovered Homer's secret. She broke into his office at night and found his glasses leaving behind a warning. The professor realized he'd made a mistake and decided to stop helping Homer. Furious, Homer tried to shove the professor into his own brain, but he had a new task to focus on, without the professor. And the professor cut off all communication. Homer tried to wing it on his own, but the assistant followed him and even convinced Marge to get Homer to confess. While distracted, Homer took a bad fall off a cliff and somehow ended up back at the original power plant.